if you are struggling to get buyers on your webinars, you are having people show up on your webinar, listen to your content, and then walk away, and they kind of feel confused. They're not really sure if they want to take this offer or not. And this is what you can do to fix it. Now, there are three parts of your webinar that you can fix very easily without doing so much work. Now, the first part is the people you attract into the webinar. Now, how do you fix the people you attract into the webinar? Or rather, firstly, what could be wrong with people you attract into the webinar? You must understand that in marketing and sales, there's what we call buyer awareness. There are different kinds of people who are potential buyers of your offer, right? Now, one kind of people are what to call the unaware set of people who are unaware they have a problem, and then we have people who are aware they have a problem, call them problem aware, and then we have people who are aware of a solution, especially your solution, we call them solution aware. Now, when you are trying to market to people to show up on your webinar, one of the things you do not want to do is to attract the unaware. Now, this is a simple mistake you could make. It's more like a thin line in the sand that will differentiate between you attracting an unaware market and a problem aware or solution aware market. Now, if you are in the internet marketing industry or the money making online industry or anything related to bringing money in or business coaching, whatever it is, one simple thing you could do that literally, right, crashes your results is to upfront tell people that this opportunity will teach you how to make money online or how to get so and so results, basically in terms of the fundamental reasons being money. Now, what that does is it attracts everybody and anybody, which is not a bad thing, except if you are scaling. If you are scaling, if you have gotten enough people with enough results, then it is possible for you to convince someone from being unaware to being problem and solution aware faster and want to take action on your offer, right? So when you attract the unaware market, one of the things that happens is because they are not so aware, they have so many reasons why they will probably not take your offer. For example, if you are offering people a skill to start a particular business, when they jump into this training and then they learn this skill to start this business, or they jump in training and you tell them all about the skill and you mention different compartments and different problems of face, they would have a fundamental reason why they will not take your offer, and that would be probably they feel that, yeah, if I just get this skill alone, or if I just get the tools you are going to give me alone, I'm going to succeed. I don't need your coaching on how to sell or market. Very simple mistake people make, right? It just comes from conditioning, and that's what happens to unaware people in the unaware market, or people who are at the bottom level of the market. They miss out important details, and it's difficult to convince them because they've not been burnt before by trying out this particular solution. So those are the first set of people. The second set of people you can attract are problem aware. They are aware that yes, they've tried this stuff before and it failed, so they know there is a fault in the system. When there's a fault in the system, it becomes easier to sell to these people. So if you want to stop attracting the unaware set of people, you need to change your languaging. Your languaging needs to stop talking about the generality of the industry and start talking about the exact problem or the exact pain. That way it filters in the right people to come into your funnel and show up in your webinar. When you have the right people in your webinar, it becomes easier for you to close them on the sale because they already are aware that there is a problem and they just need you to show them the solution, or they may even know there is a solution and they just need you to show them the offer, right? Those are the best set of people. Now, the second part of your webinar that you can fix is the content structure, right? Now, when people show up on your webinar, there are always three parts of your webinar to me, or rather four parts. The first part is always the offer, right? Yes, I put the offer first because I believe that the offer is basically like a famous marketer says, is the tip of the spear of your sales message. If your offer is strong enough, right, everything within your webinar would revolve around it and will make it stronger. So it's just like a hurricane, right? The hurricane rather has a center. That center is the strongest point. if you try to go close to that point, you'll be kicked out, probably to passing away, right? So that's why you need, and that's your offer. You need to make your offer strong enough, solid. When your offer is strong enough, right, every other thing within your webinar begins to flesh out easily. So think about it, right? Your offer is strong enough. Now you want to build out your content structure. Your content structure will be built around your offer. Your content structure is to sell people on your offer, is to get them to believe in your offer, is to get them to want your offer, right? So that's what you want to do in your content structure. How do you structure your content? What do you put first? What do you put next? What do you put next? Right? And then what do you talk about within it? How much do you give? What do you give exactly? How do you give it? Because it matters. Because if you give the right thing in the wrong way, people will perceive it the wrong way, right? It's not about over delivering and giving so much content. It's about what do you do to people's mind when you give content. Presentation and sales, it's more of the how than the what. It's not about being a good person, doing so much. People do not need you to be a good person for them to change their lives. They need you to be the right person. And what that means is you doing what's best for them. And what's best for them many times is not what they think is best for them. Giving them so much content and teaching everything just to show that you have so much value to give is not enough to get them to buy, right? Because in the process of doing that, you could say certain things that triggers in them some certain basic defensive modes that do not want them to come out of their comfort zone, and because of that they just stay. They can't find a reason. They feel like you gave so much value, but they kind of put forward an excuse not to buy because they feel quite a little bit uneasy. And of course it should be uneasy for them, because sales is not always a comfortable experience for people, because you are going outside of your comfort zone. So doing what's best for them is not giving them everything. So that's your content structure. The third part of your webinar is always your emotional connection, right? One of the reasons why people don't buy on the webinar is because of the seller. And the seller has a big part to play in how you get people buying, right? Because the seller has a style of teaching, has a manner of life, has a set of values and a set of activities that really impact how people should respond to him. So you want to factor this in when you are actually giving out content in your webinar, right? Or when you are sharing your webinar. You want to bring your personalities to the front so they know exactly who they are going to meet and what they are going to meet and what to expect, and the system you have put in place. You want to convince them on why they should buy from you, because you have maybe a team, or maybe because you have a structure, maybe because you've done this for a long time. All these things matter, basically your authority in the process of them buying from you. So when the seller has done a good job in putting everything in the right place to ensure people buy on the webinar, then it becomes way easy, right? Way easy for people to end up buying. So emotional connection is the third part. Now the fourth part, which you need to build on your webinar to get people to buy, is the follow-up. Now for me, we've seen 80% of sales happen in the follow-up. Some people experience 50%. Why is follow-up important? Follow-up is important because, again, like I said earlier, people would always love to remain within their comfort zone. So even if you've done everything, they still would not want to take action and close. What you then want to do is to find ways to make them take action and close. And how do you do so? You follow them up so that they can get out of their comfort zone and say, yes, I want to take this, because you really are on my toes in terms of showing me that, yes, this is what I should do and what I should do right now. So these are the 4 parts of your webinar that really helps you to sell more your webinars. If you don't have these 4 parts in place, or one of these 4 parts are broken, it becomes difficult for you to sell on your webinars. Right. So let me know if you found this helpful, and if you need further help, we could dive into deep. If you have any other further questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll be willing to dive in and give you more help. Right. Until then, see you in my next video.